My name's David Matlack. I'm a veterinary. I'm also a taxidermy. Either way, you get your dog back. But I'm a veterinary, so I got to tell you a dog story. I want to tell you about my dog, Blue, best hunting dog in the county. But before I tell you about what happened to Blue, I got to tell you about Miss Wilson. See, we lived in a cabin on top of the hill. At the bottom of the hill was a pond. There on the far edge of the pond was the Wilson place. Now, one morning, Miss Wilson was out on her porch, churning butter, when she spied down at that pond a big 8-point buck, a big deer. Now, she was not slow to seize this opportunity. She snuck back into her cabin, across the hearth, above the mantel, pulled down the musket, got some buckshot and gunpowder, tamped it down in there, took some kitchen knives, tamped them down in there, and a piece of rope. Went back out on her porch and went to raise, aim, and fire when suddenly Mr. Wilson decided he needed to start his 1936 Ferguson to run the sawmill. Have you seen how they do that here? It is amazing. Well, starting a 1936 Ferguson is going to spook that buck right out of his hooves, and it did. But that Miss Wilson, she was a smart lady. She knew just what that deer was going to do. He was going to run along the pond and curve through the woods to the left. So she took that barrel of that musket and she bent it over her knee in a fine swooping curve to the left, went to raise, aim, and bang! Well, sure enough, that buckshot went shooting across the pond, curved through the woods to the left, throwed that deer up in the air, pierced his heart instantly. Them knives skinned and field dressed him. That rope caught him by the hock and left him hanging from the oak tree. She was a good shot, huh? All right, now here's the part about Blue. Now, simultaneously, concurrently, and at the same time, my dog Blue was sleeping under the porch when his nose informed him of the presence of that buck down at the pond. Well, like a bolt of lightning, he was fast down the hill on a blue streak, found himself on the heels of that 8-point buck when something throwed it up in the air. There's that Ferguson. He was mesmerized by a pink butterfly. Totally captured his attention, and he didn't even see it coming. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't blame the Wilsons. They're good people. Normally, they keep a nice, neat, and tidy place, and it was the plowing season, and it was customary to leave the plow out of an evening, though I don't know I'd have left it in the trail right like that. Well, like I said, Blue, he was fast, and he had some momentum. He was putting on the brakes, staring at his quarry dangling from that tree, and that dog just slammed right into one of them plow blades. Cut that dog in two. Now, I heard a yelp, and I come running down the hill, and there I seen my prize Blue laying in two halves. Well, I'd already determined to be a veterinary, and this was my first chance to practice. Ma'am, this ain't comedy, this is tragedy. Well, I seen one of them pine trees. We was bleeding for pine tar, stickiest stuff around. I reached into that tar cup, got a big old handful of that sticky stuff, slathered it all over them two halves, slapped him back together. Ran him up the hill, dumped him in a barrel of turpentine. Ma said it cured anything. Tore up two of Daddy's T-shirts, wrapped him up, laid him out on the porch. Now, after about a week, I seen that tail wagging. And I knowed it was time to change the dressing. Well, I went to unwrapping him, and oh my. I'm a whole lot better now, I am, I promise. See, I had not yet been up to the big veterinary school at Purdue. Didn't have no surgery, no anatomy, just a desire to help the Lord's creatures. I'm a whole lot better. Well, the left side was fine, but it seems I put that right side on upside down. Now I had two legs down and two legs up. But you know what? Well, he was a better dog after that. He could not only bark at both ends, but he'd get tired on these two legs. He'd just flip on over. Best hunting dog in the county, my dog Blue.